Hey, and welcome. Have you heard? Hunter is back on hiatus. How crazy is that? How sad is that? Sad times we're living in. But as sad as it is, the last batch of chapter has left us with so many thoughts, so many reflections, and a whole lot of ideas, and a whole lot of speculation. There's just so much potential just being holded by rubber bands that just can't hold it. And the theories fly left and right. And one of them might be flying at you right now. And what do you think it is? I don't know how to call it. Think it's a theory about the Haley, or might be a theory about the Fourth Prince's militia, the whole Borksen and gang, or just a theory about Borksen and her potential. But to get into that aspect of it, I think I have to start by what makes her so special in the eyes of the Haley, and that's specialization. In the last couple of chapters, we've come to learn that the Haley has been wanting to have a specialist amongst them for a while now. They've been searching for it. I mean, even Dogman's whole ability is all about reaching for a specific type of non user, which we learn is specialists. So, specialists are important, and we come even to learn more that they are just as polyvalent as we might have imagined, if not more. They are rare, and they have a reason to be rare for, because they have the polyvalence to pretty much do anything. That was not just theory, they are really that polyvalent. Now, when we come to learn that, we understand a bit more why they might want a specialist, because they already had a specialist, and that's Morena, which is the queen bee of the whole ALE. Now, she is providing them with so much power just through her specialization ability. You might be seeing what I'm implying here, or what I'm hinting at, or what I'm trying to say, but we'll get back to it later. But we understand that Morena's specialization is so great that it provides Hatsus to people that had no connection to Nen beforehand, but now can just develop a Hatsu after 20 kills, or 2 kills, depending, or even 1 kill, depending on who they kill. But after a certain kill, they achieve a level of power they have never heard of before, that they couldn't even imagine before. And that to me is pretty interesting. Now, I don't know if it covers the basics of Nan, or if it covers all the basics of what makes Nan so powerful, the Ns, the Rens, the Zetsus. I don't know if it covers those parts, but I know it covers the basics, probably a full body coverage, and they become a bit more powerful physically. Things like that I think are covered. I'm not thinking they will become experts per se, but they will have a pretty great Hatsu. That's a great way for me, I think, for them to start. Now, what we learn from that is the great Hatsu that it creates is actually pretty decent. I thought that because it's a offshoot of a certain ability, there is gonna be lots of restrictions for the characters in place. But since it's just activating Nan that's already in the body, I'm thinking that it creates a decent, really good Atsu, as if the person trained. And that's a key part. Because I think what their plan might have been with the specialists that they might have taken in their ranks would have been to give them a shortcut, to get a shortcut, to get another Queen Bee. Why do I say that? Because we understand that contagion after level 100 allows a new queen to be born, a new patient zero that can create a second army through her own saliva. And that to me seems to be an important part of how it works. But if the person is a specialist, just like Morena, what stops them from creating their own version of contagion themselves? And they might even be able to create a whole lot of customization to that ability with their own, that fits their own narrative, that fits their own personality, and that has a whole set of different rules. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes, that's what I'm saying. You supposed to, you get it. I'm thinking Borksen has the ability now to become a Morana of her own, with her own set of rules and her own sets of conditions. Yes, and she won't have to wait till she's level 100. She can do it right when she gets her first 20 victims, let's say like that, or two. Again, it depends on what she decides to attack. And what I'm saying is, if the conditions can be changed and differ, and they can and they will, I think we might be looking at something really interesting here. Borksen might decide to make greater targets that give greater points to her allies or her new puppets, or at least her new bees from her own condition, to be able to get more points from Haley members than any other member of or any other person from the boat. Also, I do think she is also able to get a greater power maybe from her allies by restricting the number of allies she uses. Instead of making it 21, she might be able to make it 5. You know what I say 5? Because of her little gang of Otoshin and the rest being 5 people. By putting in a bunch of restrictions and changing a bit of the rules so that it doesn't go against her own sets of morals, she might be able to create a contagion that is all about hunting down Morena's crew, Morena's contagion, and taking them down. And I think that's just hype. It's gonna be a battle of the contagion gangs. That's how I see it. At least that's the potential I see from Borksen. Because not only is that something that would be great, it's also something that might be the most influenced idea that gets into her from the whole conversations she had with Morena, going from the explanations of Nan to the explanations of Morena's ability, learning Nan, and even the last chapter where she learns from her cheating that cheating against rules of Nan, against regulations of Nan, has a whole lot of consequences, is a great lesson for her to learn to use this ability to make it perfect for a new contagion against Morena. Specialized against Morena. Her own little militia against Morena's. When it comes to Morena, I don't think that this is something that she hasn't planned per se or that she doesn't see coming. It's almost as if she's sort of inviting it and waiting for it in some ways, because I think that there is also potential through that happening for her to gain maybe more points or just to get some more mayhem going. Because if there are multiple factions that are acting like her, that's just more chaos, that's just more death, and that's just more mayhem. And to her, it all amounts to the same. As long as everybody dies, she's successful. And she lets everybody know that she doesn't care about herself or anything else. She cares about her goal and to get that thing done. So, yeah, I don't even think Morena would mind if Borksen goes all out against her and becomes some sort of Morena B, enemy of Morena, and starts creating new NAN users that are targeting the Haley. I feel like it's pretty much a market. It becomes a market, and everybody can just kiss around and fight and kill and just more deaths. That's how I see it. I feel like that's probably how she sees it. She probably knows that it might be one of the ways it might happen, and she doesn't mind it. Well, I think that about covers the theory. That goes through the main points of the theory. You can take off your tinfoil hat, and I'm glad we went through it. Let me know what you think. Share your opinion. I'm willing to hear you out. Hope to see you again. Thank you. Peace.